What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing today? Welcome back. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And today, we're going to talk about splitting household duties without fighting.
Is that possible?
I don't know. I guess it would really come down to if you can split them.
I guess. Or share them.
Or share them, yeah.
So we're going to start today by doing a little bit of a game.
Okay.
We're going to turn away from each other. And if you are only listening, we will also say our answer, I guess, after we sort of... We didn't think this through, okay?
Basically, I'm going to read off a list of household chores, and we are going to point if it's us or the other person on who handles those in our house. And then you guys get to see or hear if one of us is lying.
It's like, how can they hear a point? But I guess after we're done doing that, we'll go, okay, that was Sean. Okay, that was me. Okay, we made it work. It's good.
All right, you ready?
So we're listing off our chores, and then we're going to try to see who does them, or if we both think we do them. Mm-hmm. Or maybe there's one that neither of us does, and we don't know. We're about to find out real quick that something's not getting done.
And then I'll be right back. You ready?
Yes.
All right, the first one on the list, dishes.
Oh, that's Sean.
Didn't we say me?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. All right. Bill payments.
Oh, that's me. Okay, good. I thought you were also going to say you, though.
No, I pay one bill, and it's auto pay, so... No.
All right.
Let's see. Trash.
Oh, that is not me. That is him. That is 1,000% him. And we'll talk about why later.
Picking up around the house. Oh, 100% her.
Yeah.
All right. Laundry, washing it.
He won't even let me touch the laundry. Like, when it's gonna be washed, like, if it's a laundry washing or drying, he won't even let me in the laundry room. Like, I'm not allowed in there. It's not fair. I mean, whatever.
All right. The next one is laundry, folding it.
Because I don't like the way you fold towels. It's me.
I
hate the way he folds towels.
She hates the way I fold t-shirts, too.
Yes, that's true.
But no, I hate folding. Not me. All right. The litter.
Oh, that can't be me. We'll explain why later, but that cannot be me. That is him.
Deep cleans of the house.
No, that's you too.
That's what I was saying, both of us.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Raise your hand when it's you.
Okay. Yeah, both of us.
That is definitely both of us. Different rooms, but both of us.
We have our preferences.
Yeah.
All right. The lawn.
Chris?
Yeah.
No, that's going to be you, though.
Yeah, it'll be me.
I don't do that.
In the new place, it'll
be
me.
We have a lawn guy. Our lawn guy's name is Chris Brown.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Chris Brown, though. But it's Chris Brown.
And he does great for a good rate.
He's so good. He's so good, man. He's so nice, too.
Yeah. All right. So, setting appointments.
Oh, yeah. That would be me. The organized one.
I need to have an appointment set to remind me to set the appointment.
Yeah, he has alarms set in his phone for his chores. Like, yeah, there's no.
All right. Keeping a schedule. I think we just outed me on that one.
I think we just said, like, that's me, obviously.
Yeah. Taking the cats to the vet.
That's absolutely him. Not just because it can be very difficult to get Bento into a carrier and it requires arm strength that I don't have. He also has the schedule that works better with that. So that's him.
And then grocery shopping.
Both of us?
That's both of us. Now,
you go in person and I put in the orders online.
Would we spend less money if she doesn't go with me? Yes.
Would you be happy if I didn't go with you and make us buy salad?
No. She finds all the good stuff, and I don't think about it. I'm like, we need nuggies.
We just need this and
this and this, and that's it. And she goes, don't you want a pizza? I do want a pizza.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one, putting away the groceries.
Me.
It's...
Oh, no.
I prep it.
You prep them to be put away, but I put them away because I am the organized one.
You don't want me putting them away.
I would be so mad if he put the groceries away. I'd be like, everything is in its wrong place. Why did you put the meat in there? Meat, quote unquote, because we're vegan. But why would you put the meat in the vegetable crisper? Because it's a vegetable. That's so smart.
So one of the times that I did the grocery shopping at our old place, she was gone that day. And I spent like $100 and some. Like we bought a lot. And I put it away. And it was all in one side of the fridge. And she was like, why is everything on this side? Because to me it was closer.
Oh my gosh.
She goes, it has a place.
Everything has a place. And I think that really outlines why we have to split the chores.
Yeah.
So, essentially, we wanted to talk about like why it's important to split or share the chores and how to do that without fighting.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So the first thing that you need to do is discuss with your partner what makes sense to split, what makes sense to share, and what makes sense to outsource. Speaking of outsourcing, like that's what Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't make any sense for either of us to mow the lawn because we're so busy. If he even has 2 hours free on the weekend, I fill it with some kind of rehearsal. Like, there's no way with the lives that we lead.
We, like, our last place, our yard took Chris almost 45 minutes on a riding mower.
No, it took him over an hour.
Yeah, okay.
It was over an hour.
Yeah, he always came.
We had a huge front yard, a huge side yard, and a huge backyard.
But on a big riding mower,
there was
it
no
took him
way
over an hour
for us to do it.
I have a push mower. Like, that's going to take me hours.
Yeah, so we found him, and he had a really, really good rate, and we thought, okay, we can afford this expense. Let's outsource that. That will give us both some free time on the weekends and time for me to fill with more rehearsals. Or it just, again, free time. Why not?
So now our new place,
the yard is so small.
It's going to take less than 20 minutes to mow the lawn.
Yeah, and
so
maybe
I'll be able to do that.
Yeah. We don't even have to mow the backyard. No one's going to yell at us for the backyard.
Honestly, I'm considering paying one of the kids in the neighborhood to do it.
Right? Our front yard would take somebody, I think, 5 minutes to mow. It is that small.
There'll be about 7 swipes with a...
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
So we really don't need to do the backyard until it gets really bad. But yeah, outsourcing. What makes sense to outsource? If you find yourself in the position to hire cleaning people for your house, if you can afford that and it's gonna keep you guys from fighting, outsource it. Why not? We're not in that position, and you'll either find out in this episode or later episodes why that does not work for me. But for some people that works to outsource. But then you have chores that you can share, like that we both can do, like deep cleans. We share and we split. Like, he likes to deep clean the bathroom. I don't know who does like to do that except for you, but he likes to deep clean the bathroom. I really like to deep clean the kitchen. We just both have a different room that we like to deep clean. And I really like cleaning baseboards. Don't know what that's about, but I totally dig cleaning baseboards. You know what I hate to do? Vacuum. So I clean the baseboards, he vacuums. Perfect deal.
Real quick, speaking about outsourcing, like, I used to work for Stanley Steamer years ago, like carpet cleaning. Yeah. There was a lady that hired us once every 2 weeks to come out to her house just to vacuum.
If you can afford it and it makes your life easier, outsource some of your chores. Why not? Some people do grocery delivery. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we have to outsource that chore. But you weigh the pros and cons, you weigh the costs, and go, this would make me happy and I can afford it today. Let's do it.
Yeah. It also comes down to time.
Yeah.
It might not just be who prefers to do it. It literally, we both could be stuck in meetings all day, but we need something for the house.
Oh, that happened last week. Yeah. I was like, I need these. I'm out of soda and I need it because I'm a soda addict, but like, I need it. So we had to do a Publix order and they delivered it and it was great. But both of us were working at home and we couldn't leave. So yeah. Then there's chores that you split. So there's the ones that you share. Like we both, what do we both do? Is there anything we both do?
I mean, we do. We both like, what do we say?
I'm looking at the list of chores. We both do bill payments.
And we both do grocery shopping.
Okay, cool. We do share some things.
Yeah.
But for the most part, we split the chores. And our biggest piece of advice for couples that are not sure like how to split, what to share, what to outsource, talk about it. Discuss this early in the relationship, especially early in the deciding to move in together stage of your relationship. Discuss the chores. Don't be shy about saying, hey, I don't like to do this. is that something that you would do? And if that person says, no, I don't like to do that either, that's when you decide, okay, is this something that we're just going to have to, bite the bullet and share it? Or is this something that we should outsource?
Or is it something that one of you can and can't do or cannot do because of a limitation or because of a reason?
Yeah.
And but also you need to talk about what chores do you enjoy?
Yeah, some people enjoy some chores. I love organizing. Can you tell I'm a type A? Mm-hmm. I love organizing things. Like I had to beg him to let me organize his office. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't let me.
She had a field day when we moved in because she was like, we need to set up your closet. I said, you can go ahead and do that if you want. She goes, really? Like she had the best day. Like she's sending me pictures at work. She's like, look at what I
got to
did.
hang the art in his room. I was so excited. But like that's something I enjoy doing, and he enjoys deep cleaning bathrooms, and I don't
enjoy it.
You said you do. He throws on a podcast or throws on some good like music by Marshmello or something, and he just has It's because you get an hour to yourself, isn't it?
No. But no, it's one of those things where I don't know if it was because I used to have to clean the bathrooms when I worked at the skating rink. Maybe. And I've seen craziness, so now it's like, oh, this is easy.
This is easy. It's just cat hair. That's really all it is. Just cat hair
We're
everywhere.
Clean people. It's just Bento's hair is everywhere.
But yeah, it's really important to discuss sharing or splitting early, and it's also important to discuss it often because things can change. Things can absolutely change. One of the things that also dictates what we do or don't do or what we share or what we split, what kind of people we are. Like who we really are. Like I'm a type A. He's a type B. There are certain chores that just work better for a type A versus a type B. Also, Enneagram types. I'm a type 3. He's a type 7. I'm a little driven, I've got to have things organized and everything. Things have to be organized because I have so many things that I want to accomplish. He's a type 7. He's all about experiences. He doesn't want to take the time to do all these meticulous chores because he wants to experience things. He wants to do things. Or even if just doing things is just playing Call of Duty, whatever. Different Myers-Briggs types. So one of the most important things when it comes to this, I know this is going to sound silly, but get to know yourself and what works best for you so that you know what works best as a team. Know your Enneagram type if you like that kind of thing. Know your astrological sign if that's what you want to know. Like, as we all know, I'm a big fan of astrology, but like some people just don't care about it. That's fine. Enneagram type, Myers-Briggs type of person, like know what works for you, what makes you happy, what makes you really unhappy. Know these things so that they can come into the conversation. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses. Oh, yeah. Speaking of strengths and weaknesses, everybody has little quirks, little weaknesses about them, little personality quirks, really is the perfect word for that. Okay. And physical abilities or lack thereof, those come into play when it comes to chores, believe it or not. I have a very, very sensitive nose. Basically meaning I have an incredibly high performing sense of smell. That's why I don't like doing the dishes. That's why I don't like cleaning the bathrooms. And that's why I can't do the litter. We have cats. I can't do the litter for 2 reasons. 1, I have a really heightened sense of smell. 2, I am allergic to cat urine. I didn't know that, but I react pretty badly to strong amounts of cat urine. So we keep the litter boxes on the porch so we don't smell them. Ever, unless they get really, really bad. But I can't go out there and deal with it because I'll just get a migraine and kind of keel over because it's just so intense for me. He doesn't have a very intense sense of smell at all. It's like the antithesis to me. So it's easy for him to do the litter and to do the bathrooms and to do the dishes because the smelly chores don't bother you. They really bother me. Like, if dishes are left in the sink for more than a day, I'm like, why do I still smell the garlic pasta from yesterday? This is gross. And he's just like, I didn't smell it. And I'm like, this is why you do the dishes. So know your strengths and weaknesses. I have a strength. He has a weakness. that worked out well for the stinky chores. And I have a weakness when it comes to touching things. I've said in previous vlogs, and I know we're going to talk about it a lot more in the future, I have contamination OCD. It's just a issue that I deal with. It's, working on my mental health, but that's one of the things I'm struggling with, and it's really hard for me to touch things that are dirty. Very difficult for me to touch things that are dirty. So that's a big reason actually why he does the laundry. Because I can't touch the dirty clothes. Once they're dirty and in the hamper, I can't touch it anymore. Otherwise, I'm unclean. And don't try to work or figure that out because it's just a dark place. Don't go there. But I can't do the trash. Once it's in the trash, I'm like, I really get anxiety thinking about touching a trash bag or taking the trash cans out to the road. I get massive anxiety about it. So he does those chores. He makes up for my weakness, or his weakness can be really, really convenient for my strength when it comes to sense of smell. His weakness, one of his weaknesses is that you have ADHD.
I have severe ADHD. So I forget things. I don't remember where, or when to set stuff or when to do stuff.
That's why I make all the schedules, because I'm a type A and Enneagram type 3 and a Gemini and whatever. And I am so organized, and so I have a to-do list. I love lists. I have a to-do list going at all times. And he's not really good at remembering when stuff happens or even keeping lists or using a planner. So I handle all appointments. I handle bill pays. I handle anything that needs to be done by a certain specific time. I handle that.
And then also with my ADHD, the way that my brain works, if there's something on the ground and to me it doesn't register that I need to pick it up right in that moment, it's not something that my brain has told me that I need to do.
Sometimes he doesn't even see it.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll
walk around it. Towel on the floor.
I'll walk around it because it's in my mind it's oh, don't step on something, but my mind doesn't register that shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
So when it comes to picking up around the house, it's not that I'm a messy person, because eventually I'll step on it or see it or something. But in the moment, my mind doesn't register that I need to move that. So whether I made them like you said, a bowl for bento with milk.
Bento likes to drink cereal milk, even almond milk, because that's what we drink. But he likes to drink the almond milk from our cereal. And so we'll leave the bowl on the floor. And when I wake up in the morning, I see that his bowl is still on the floor. I'm not mad. He probably didn't see it. I see it because that's how my brain works. So understanding yourself and where you have strengths, where you have weaknesses, where you have preferences, where you have non-negotiables of please don't make me do that. like I can't touch the trash cans and you don't see the trash on the floor. So I will take the trash and put it in the bag. Once it's in the bag, he knows, oh, I take out the trash. It's a system that works for us. Now, what works for us will not work for everybody. But that's why the most important thing in this entire vlog, episode, whatever, is to talk to each other, discuss chores, and make decisions. And be open to things changing. That
should be one of the big conversation pieces that you have
even move in
with somebody. There's some of those heavy hitters that people talk about, But this is one of them that people don't think about because you just assume, oh, well, that person will handle it. Maybe they won't.
There are so many jokes that people make about marriages ending over somebody leaving a toilet seat up or somebody not taking out the trash and their marriage ended over it. Those aren't just jokes. Sometimes that happens because you can move in with somebody and not realize how they live and what they're used to doing and what they're not used to doing. I'm going to out a former roommate of ours. We used to live with somebody that just did not do chores. I don't know if it's just that they grew up in a house where they didn't have to do any chores and everything was always done for them. But that person never, ever lifted a finger around the house and would even remind us that we needed to do chores. It was, oh, the dishes need done. And it was okay, so do them.
They're yours too.
They're yours too. But he just didn't do anything around the house. And we didn't know that until we lived with that person. And it was kind of a shocker. And it made us sometimes a little resentful of that person. Now, we don't see them often anymore, but like we still love that person, and that was just one of the things we didn't like about living with them. Yeah. Whatever. But this is a marriage, and if you harbor any like animosity toward the other person, even over something as stupid as a toilet seat or trash, that does build up, especially if you never talk about it. If you always see the trash there, and I've reminded you 10 times to take out the trash, and you never do. But if I never say that, and I just think it every time, it builds and it builds and it builds. And then one day you get a divorce over the trash. Yep. It happens.
And then the person who's on the receiving end of the divorce is like, but it was just the trash that one time. It was just the
trash. And they don't know that it happened over and over again. So not only is it important to talk about what you want to share, what you want to split, and talk about these things ahead of time, but as time goes on, if somebody's either not doing their chore or, not doing it quite the way that you wanted them to, talk about it. Make sure that you tell the other person, like, hey, the way you do the laundry puts so much static in my clothes. It's really unbearable. I can't even wear this sweater anymore because there's just too much static in it because you washed it with my Among Us onesie. Outing myself, but you washed my favorite sweater with my Among Us onesie, and now there's too much static. Instead of being angry about it, it's, hey, can you try to separate the fuzzy things from the not fuzzy things?
Because at the beginning, I did that. Literally,
that's a true story.
Like, she had like t-shirts that I would wash with like sweaters
or towels.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they were like
they would just
funny,
cling, and it'd be like if this shirt was just clingy and it never unclinged, and I had to get rid of those shirts because they just never unclinged. Yeah. No matter what I did, I used anti-static stuff. I tried everything, but there was no getting it out. It was just the material, I guess.
And then so her and I were talking, and she's like, hey, blah, blah, blah. So now I need to make sure that my towels are like washed in their own load and things like that. And like anything fuzzy is on its own load.
But imagine if I never said anything. Yeah. I would just be constantly mad that he was ruining my clothes.
And you would have a lot less clothes.
I would have a lot less clothes.
I would have ruined a bunch.
I would be constantly mad at him for ruining my clothes.
And I wouldn't have known.
I mean, I get very sentimental to certain clothes, like the pants I'm wearing right now. I am attached to. I am in love with these pants. You can catch them on my social media. They're from For Days, and I love them. Anyway, that was a shameless plug, but they really are comfy. I am obsessed. I want to buy like 7 more pairs. But if you damaged them in the laundry, I would be so upset. That's why instead of hoping he does it right without giving him any help, making sure that he does it right, or telling him how I want my laundry done. Not in a, you have to do it this way, but hey, in order to save my clothes, could you do the laundry this way? I set myself up not to have a disappointment moment when maybe my clothes got ruined because I didn't tell him what they need. Also, quick tip about the laundry. People wear different kinds of clothes. My clothing material, very different from his clothing material. He's not used to washing clothes like this. So when you're moving in with somebody, if one of you is going to do the laundry, make sure the other person tells that person how to care for your clothes.
Oh, yeah. Like, because me, like cotton shirts, jeans, everything got washed on cold, like all together.
But now, sometimes he washes his shorts with Velcro on them, with some of my sweaters. You can guess what happens.
Pull them out and they're like piece.
One piece and fuzz everywhere. And he didn't know that that's how my clothes needed to be washed because I made the mistake of not explaining that he can't wash my sweaters with Velcro. Because before you didn't care. He didn't have to care. Now you do, but there's a learning curve. So talking about it, discussing it, making sure everyone's on the same page. Maybe it works better for you and in your relationship to just do your own laundry separately. I would, but he won't let me.
And with like that, or like with like the organizing thing, I hate when stuff of mine gets touched and moved because I know where it is. I made
that mistake.
I know exactly where it is, and I know. And then if you move it and you're like, hey, where is this?
And then he actually panics sometimes if he doesn't know where it is.
Because in my brain, it told me I put it on this shelf.
We saw an ADHD TikToker one time explain this perfectly. Somebody said, hey, do you have a paperclip? And the guy goes, yeah, it's underneath the back leg of my dresser in my second room. Yeah, right behind the leg. It's purple. And they're like, I'm sorry, what? How do you know that? Because they just remember.
I might not like focus on it, but my brain catalogs where it sees everything.
His brain is organized in a way that doesn't make sense to people like me who have a different style of organization in my brain. I know where the paper clips are because I put them in a very, very specific place in the drawer. He knows where a paper clip is because where he remembered seeing it. Mm-hmm. Different. It's like you have like a snapshot memory, mm-hmm. and I have like a closet memory, you know? And again, all of this comes down to two things. Talking mm-hmm. about it, like communicating what you want, what you don't want, what you're good at, what you're not good at. Mm-hmm. And understanding yourself. Mm-hmm. That's what it comes down to. Those are the two main key factors in living with somebody and dealing with the chores part of living with someone without fighting, without breaking up over mm-hmm. trash or a toilet seat.
And you're going to have to do chores you don't want. No one wants to do chores. No one enjoys doing it. No one's like, yes, I get to take the trash out. Woohoo! No one's like that. But you know what? It's something you got to do around your house.
Everyone has to do it, unless you're in a fortunate position to be able to outsource all of it.
And if you do, I'm living on your couch.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, with the contamination OCD, part of that involves people coming into my house. Even if I wanted to outsource cleaning my house, like deep cleans and scrubbing the baseboards and doing the dishes, I can't because I'm not comfortable with people coming into my house. Mm-hmm. He would have to like mop and sanitize.
I would have to clean their clean.
Yeah. So it doesn't make any sense for me to outsource that, even if I was in a financial position to do it. I'm also really, really big on saving money. So if I can do it, I don't want to pay somebody else to do it. Mm-hmm. So things like that. Some things you can outsource. We can outsource shopping. Mm-hmm. Sure. Amazon is great. Mm-hmm. Amazon with Whole Foods. Hey. Great. Some things you can't outsource, and that's where the conversation mm-hmm. needs to be had. But the biggest thing is just talk respectfully mm-hmm. with each other about chores mm-hmm. and come to an agreement. And be open to that agreement changing. Mm-hmm. Be open to somebody saying, hey, I can't do this anymore. Like if you hurt your back and you can't lift the laundry mm-hmm. anymore, we'll find a solution that allows me to do the laundry. Maybe it's gloves. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But we'll find a solution. Or I don't know. Like I suddenly stop being able to be organized.
Or we organize the laundry to more bins so that way they're not as heavy.
Yeah. You facilitate there are that. Solutions to everything. Yeah. So just be open for things to change and keep the conversation a conversation mm-hmm. is basically it. So I hope that this was helpful information and mm-hmm. helpful discussion. I love talking about these things because I feel like for the first time in my life, I'm in like a truly wonderful and healthy relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's just so nice to be able to take what we've learned from each other and from past relationships and share it with others to hopefully help. Because mm-hmm. if there had been a vlog or a podcast like this when I was in my earlier relationships, actually, unfortunately, I might not be here because those relationships might have worked better. I don't know. No, I was meant for you. Aww.
But yeah, I mean, it's so true though. Like with all that, it's just talk, listen, learn.
Yes. Okay, that's all we needed to say then. Talk, listen, learn. No more vlogs. That's it. We're good. I keep doing that. In all of our vlogs, I do that.
But no.
Thank you guys for joining us and being a part of this journey. Because this is us still learning about marriage and us still learning about being in a relationship. Because you're always learning. Mm-hmm. That's always a learning process. So being a part of our journey is so special to us. And that mm-hmm. we get to talk to you about it and impart our knowledge and wisdom is just really wonderful. So thank you for being a part of it. Do not forget to subscribe or hit the follow button or whatever people do on vlogs and podcasts. Mm-hmm. Make sure that you are subscribed. And if there's a thumbs up button,
if there's a 5-star thing, hit that. Whatever there is, hit that good nose. Also, if you have any chores that you want to know which one of us does, if we didn't list it.
Yeah, if we missed something, ask away, leave a comment. If you want to tell us about how you guys split, honestly, I would love to know anyone who's in a polyamorous relationship. Like, I want to know how that split is. Is that more like convenient, or is it sort of like the same way? Is it more complicated? I would love to know, because all relationships, all types of relationships are welcome on our channel and at our podcast and in our lives. So if your relationship is just fundamentally different from ours, we are so happy to learn about how yours works. Yeah. So definitely leave a comment about that down below.
And if you have any ideas for other, vlogs or podcasts.
Yeah, if you have topics that you want us to cover, please let us know, or questions that you want us to answer. We are always down to talk if you can't tell.
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We look forward to talking to you again soon. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jen.
And we're out of here. Bye.